Hi, my name's Eric, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk again about MARINA. She just released her brand new album, Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land, and I'm here to give it my first reaction and to break down the album's lyrics. I am so excited for this new album. I've been a fan of MARINA's for a long time, and I own her first 3 albums on CD, and I've actually heard that this album returns a bit to her earlier style, so I'm very curious to hear what that sounds like. But before I dive in, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite song on this album is. Check the description box for a link to a list of nonprofits you can donate to. Please subscribe to be here when I post new videos pretty much every week, and hit the bell icon to be notified of when my videos go live. Without further ado, track number 1 is the title track, Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land. Oh my gosh, it sounds like Mowgli's Road.
Ancient dreams in a modern land. I'm trying to get back as fast as I can. But you don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to fit into the norm. You are not here to conform. I got my body, got my mind, and my brain. Some feelings I have on my DNA. I live in the space between the stars and the sky. What's your purpose? Why were you put on earth? You could be lost, but you belong to the world. Walls are being broken and we're ready for change. Ancient dreams in a modern land. I am here to take a look inside myself. Recognize that I could be the eye of the soul. Some feelings I have on my DNA. I am absorbing all the witness of life. From the heart of nature to the top of the layers. You are not here to conform. You don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to fit into the norm. You are not here to conform. I got my body, got my mind, and my brain. Some feelings I have on my DNA.
Wow, that was so much fun. Just a great pop rock song in a minor key. It reminded me so much of Mowgli's Road from the Family Jewels, and I absolutely love that song. So we are off to a really great start, and a lot of the lyrics here are basically about being in an in-between place or being on the edge of something new. And this relates to multiple themes in the song, the first being nonconformity. Like MARINA says, you are not here to conform, you don't have to fit in any one prescribed box. Another element is our current day socio-political situation, I guess. MARINA talks about things being destroyed and rebuilt. She talks about storms and tearing down walls. Change, whether personal or political, involves the loss of something. You have to deconstruct something to reconstruct something better, hopefully. And what the title of the song refers to is this idea that life to our ancestors was simple. You just do what you have to survive. But modern life is easier in some ways and more complicated in other ways, so surviving means something different. MARINA doesn't just want to live, she wants her soul, her essence, her identity to survive too. Track number 2 is Venus Flytrap.
Whatever you give life, you will get back. What be a wallflower when you can be a Venus flytrap? I didn't play that game for the money or the fame. I didn't play, baby. You're in a losing battle, baby. You'll never stop me being me. I got the beauty, got the brains, got the power, hold the reins. I know that in this world you will change me. I sacrificed it all for a life to go mine. The money ain't important and it don't mean you're the best, but I honey hold myself and I'm a millionaire. Yes, I did it, baby. Got the beauty, got the brains, got the power, hold the reins. I should be more crazy. Take away your rights, pacify you with their lies. I'll be a wallflower and you can be a Venus flytrap. Don't underestimate, baby, cause one day you're gonna see it. Cause whatever you give life, you're gonna get back. I'll be a wallflower and you can be a Venus flytrap.
Wow, I love the attitude that Marina has on this album. Her last album cycle was a lot more serene and introspective, whereas this is very much a return to her earlier voices on The Family Jewels and on even Fruit and especially Electra Heart, where she was very bold and out there and confident. And so the last song was Marina taking a look at her life and saying, I just want to make things simple. What makes me human and what makes me Marina? And on this song, she's talking about some of the things that got in the way of her doing that in the first place, namely her career. And a lot of this circles back directly to The Family Jewels, like when she mentions how Hollywood has these unreasonable expectations, just like on Hollywood, and talks about how she refuses to change, which calls back to Oh No. But a big change has happened between Oh No and Venus Flytrap. On Oh No, Marina talked about wanting to meet people's expectations and how that made her feel like a robot or like a machine. And here she talks about refusing to meet people's expectations and how that makes her like a Venus flytrap, a plant. Being natural and organic means being authentically and unapologetically herself as opposed to a manufactured, technological, modern product. And the combination of this theme of getting back to the basics or returning to the past and this stylistic return to her early music, there might be another message here about how her career might have changed her and how she really just wants to get back to who she really is, which might have been represented by her early music. So as usual in Marina's music, there's a few layers going on here at the same time, which I love. Track number 3 is Man's World.
Cheeks are rosy like a bush cherub. I'm a strawberry soda. Raise my lashes to heaven. Clouds in the weights of our eyes, we saw it all. Burn me at the stake, you thought I was a witch. Centuries ago, now you just call me a bitch. I don't wanna live in a man's world anymore. I don't wanna live in a man's world anymore. Marilyn's bungalow, it's number 7. Owned by a sheik who killed thousands of gay men. I guess that's why he bought the campus hotel in LA then. I don't wanna live in a man's world anymore. Maybe it is time to go to hell. So don't punish women are violets coming to life. The planet has a funny way of stopping a fight. So don't punish me, 'cause I'm not a man.
Nice. Wow. I love that this song actually takes a lighter approach because the lyrics on their own are really defiant, but the sound of the song is so light and Marina really engages her beautiful head voice, which feels more delicate and a little bit more sensitive and more raw, which I think balances the lyrics nicely and it makes it feel a little bit more like a personal experience that Marina is having as opposed to just a political observation. And that's because Marina actually is getting a little bit more personal. On the last 2 songs, Marina connected being authentically herself to being part of the past and to nature, and here she connects it to her womanhood. So when she says on the chorus that Mother Nature is dying, it's got all of these layers. We are still subjugating women, we are still killing the environment, and we are still experiencing this type of spiritual death at all levels of our personal and political lives. And she conveys this the best when she says, in the past you would have called me a witch, but now you just call me a bitch. The personal is political. The first verse has these really beautiful images that I feel like almost could fit in Lana Del Rey's discography too, and one particular line that stands out to me is when she says, clouds in the whites of our eyes, we saw it all, we being women. Cloudy vision, or specifically like visibly cloudy eyes, are a symptom of degenerative eye diseases like macular degeneration or cataracts, just things associated with the loss of vision from age. So Marina's saying that these issues facing women are age-old problems and women are tired. Track number 4 is Purge the Poison. Yes, more pop rock.
We are quietly reforming, protecting the planet, healing our own damage from every
Wow, that was so much fun. I love the structure of the song. I thought it was so much fun and so inventive, and the way that she slowed things down to really sort of look us in the face and tell us exactly what we needed to hear. It's just peak Marina, and these songs so far have been some of her strongest in recent memory. And so if the first three songs were taking all of these social ills individually and unpacking them, this song smashes them all together and says, here's the list of things we need to fix. It is one of those songs where it basically just lists social issues, and it runs the risk of zooming out so far that we don't really know what it's trying to say anymore. But luckily, Marina keeps the examples specific enough that we get an idea of what this apocalyptic world looks like to her from her unique perspective, sort of like the 1975 song Love It If We Made It. And part of that is also because she doesn't try to downplay or hide her actual positions. It's easy in a song like this where you are just taking all of these different social issues to talk about them from different perspectives and end up in this sort of middle place where you say, well, everyone's wrong and the whole world is bad, and so you just sort of cross your arms and sit back smug, but Marina doesn't do that here. I love this moment on the second pre-chorus when Marina says, it's a new world order, everything just falls away, our life as we know it now belongs to yesterday. As usual, there are multiple layers going on here. First, it can be about really kind of contradicting the title of the album and the idea of the first song with this development in Marina's perspective where she is no longer focused on regressing to the past but progressing to the future. And then of course the New World Order is a conspiracy theory that was propagated especially in the last year in reaction to things like mask mandates and stay-at-home orders. And so Marina sees all of that reactionary stuff and says, yeah, we are going to change the world, but we're going to change it for the better. Track number 5 is Highly Emotional People.
Life is a game that the universe plays. We are the pieces in a puzzle called fate. Emotions unfold like a super bloom in action. 'Cause we're just highly emotional people. And you don't need a hide. I'll never see you cry. All of the weight you have carried around. Feelings come up and you push them back down. You can let go of the pain in your heart. 'Cause we're just highly emotional people. You know it's safe to tell me how you feel. I'll never see you cry. People say men don't cry till somebody takes their life. I'll never see you cry. I'll never see you cry.
Wow, that was beautiful, and what I love about the sequencing of this album too is that as it moves along, it opens up more and more, and that's reflected also by the sound of the album. We started out with very punchy, percussive pop rock, didn't intend that alliteration, and now we've moved on to a lot of very soft, very angelic sounds that feel closer to Marina's heart. And that makes sense also because this song represents a big shift in Marina's perspective. Before she was talking about how we as humans have the ability and therefore the responsibility to change the world. And she had this almost like detached, omniscient, jaded point of view. But now that she zooms back in and looks another person in the eyes, the perspective changes, and she opens the song by saying, life is a game that the universe plays, we are the pieces in a puzzle called fate. And so when I heard this, I was thinking, what caused this change? And Marina explains this on the chorus when she says, we're just highly emotional people, and you don't need to hide. Sometimes it's hard to tell me how you feel, I never see you cry. Normally, I wouldn't want to assume that this was about a man or a romantic partner, but she actually says also on the bridge that men are taught that it's wrong to cry, so I'm assuming that this is about her trouble connecting with a man who she's dating because he is repressing his emotions. And this different approach might also correspond to this gender difference. Before she was talking about women taking power and taking the reins, but now she's saying that her partner, as a man, needs to take the time to sit this one out and just reconnect with his emotions. Because emotions are natural. She compares them to a super bloom, to, again, something connected to Mother Nature. So the song is subtly subversive, but also very sweet, and I'm really enjoying those layers. Track number 6 is New America. Okay. Yes, the high drama. I think I heard like church bells and a choir. Every single bell and whistle, no pun intended, that the song would need to feel as dramatic as possible, like Phantom of the Opera dramatic. I mean, but it makes sense. Like, what she's talking about is a collection of deep systemic issues from a long history of violence and suppression, and it all makes sense. But Marina also has this sense of humor, so it comes off not feeling like a dirge or like just preaching, but like a call to action. I loved on the first verse when she mentioned health insurance and a dental plan, because these are not the ideas that you usually hear about, even in political pop music, but they're so relevant. And then she circled back to that dental plan on the bridge when she talked about America's smile and the pain underneath. It's like America had the dental plan that it could go and get its issues diagnosed. Now it has to treat those issues. I mean, like Marina said 12 years ago, she's obsessed with the mess that's America. Sort of like Purge the Poison, the song is basically a very disheartening collage of a bunch of different social issues, here specifically those facing the US. Class disparities, racial injustice, the subjugation of Indigenous Americans. Because she is so straightforward about most of it, there's not a whole lot to unpack, but one of the more figurative lines in the song is when she says, "This is a new America, stars are shining for you, sparkling red and blue." Marina has brought up the stars a few times, notably on the opener, and she has brought up the idea of fate, and as we know, the stars are a common symbol of fate. So how this metaphor is working is, if the stars, the symbols of fate, are shining directly on America, America is about to face its fate. Again, this is the type of deconstruction and reconstruction that Marina alluded to earlier, and the creation of a new America. Track number 7 is Pandora's Box.
You almost turned me psycho. Someone who was special in every other way. But for her, it's just another day. You opened up Pandora's box. You don't know what you just unlocked. I lose all control. Let go of my darkest thoughts. Now breathe and hope's no loss. I've escaped many vices, but I can never escape the war inside my skull. Always the optimist, dealing with somebody else's can of worms. You opened up Pandora's box. You don't know what you just unlocked. 'Cause I see the truth we were staring.
Wow, really getting vulnerable here. We are for sure in breakup territory. I was not expecting that from the first half of the album, but I think that's a really interesting choice. And that's because I think on this song, Marina is implicitly drawing a connection between, again, the personal and the political, sort of showing how political or social problems can manifest within a relationship, just like she did on Highly Emotional People. Pandora's Box, of course, is the origin myth of basically all of the world's problems. It's the story of how one person can have this negative ripple effect. But here, that ripple effect is just from one person to another in an intimate relationship. I'm pretty sure the context of this song is that Marina's partner has cheated on her, which she heavily implies when she says, "You damaged what we had, but for her, it's just another day," her being the other woman, presumably. So by doing this to her, this guy has opened up Marina's personal Pandora's box. All of the trauma that she's experienced, all of the negativity that she has absorbed from just existing in this world, it all comes bursting out because of this one trigger event. And this leads her on the chorus not just to hope, but to pray that hope's not lost. She has lost her power, so she turns to a higher power. So while Marina feels powerful as a woman politically, we know from this song and from Highly Emotional People that she feels powerless in her personal life. Track number 8 is I Love You, But I Love Me More.
I love you, but I love me more. Don't come back knocking at my door. You say you should change, you say you'll transform. Do you expect me to believe that you've changed? You'd rather shut your eyes than feel any pain. Told myself I can't go back ever again. Told you before that love isn't enough. Come on, baby, I can call your bluff. I love you, but I love me more. You say that you change, you say you transform. How can I trust you after what I've been through? And now your promises, they just suffocate. You try to tell me that it's already been lost. I love you, but I love me more. Don't come back knocking on my door. I just can't make up my mind. I've been choosing your heart over mine. So I love you, but I love me more.
Yes.
You say that you change, you say you transform.
Man, I love a good angry, indignant breakup song, and that is exactly what this song was. Oh, and I love the use of the minor key on this song and throughout this album. It really makes us feel like something is approaching, something is coming to an end, something is changing in a big way, which is exactly what this whole album is about. So because Marina felt powerless on these prior two songs about her relationship, now she's taking power back by drawing this line and building this wall and saying, "Don't you dare come crawling back to me." One reason for this appears on the first verse when Marina says, "You'd rather shut your eyes than feel any pain." On Man's World, Marina talked about how women have suffered for centuries through all of these things and used this vision metaphor to convey that. So here when she talks about seeing something, she doesn't just mean being emotionally self-aware and connected, but also suffering or bearing an emotional load. We also know from Highly Emotional People that this guy had trouble connecting with his emotions because he felt like that was contrary to what he was expected to do and to feel as a man. But if he can't feel, he can't hurt, and if he can't hurt, he can't heal and fix this relationship. Track number 9 is Flowers.
Now we reach the end. I ran the marathon. I think it made me stronger, but I would rather not betray myself just to keep your love at any cost. All the happiness you lost, lost. With every careless action, you let me slip away. You didn't think I was serious. I guess you felt so safe. If you just bought me flowers, maybe I would have stayed. We had the thorns and leaves, but the buds they never bloomed. And it's more What parts of your love were for real and what parts were for show? I wouldn't have walked away. I wouldn't have walked away.
Nice. That was a really pretty melody, and of course Marina's voice sounded really beautiful. Right off the bat, this song connects to the nature theme of the album, albeit loosely, but basically this is yet another aspect of her life that lacked that essential organic aspect, just like her career that made her feel like a machine. She even says on the second verse that nothing grew out of this relationship but thorns and leaves. If something natural blooming means that everything is going right emotionally and that a person or that two partners are connected to their emotions, then that just wasn't the case here. And again, that's because her ex didn't put in the work. When she says you didn't buy me flowers, of course that's probably literal, but also connecting to nature means connecting to emotions. He never broke through that barrier and was vulnerable with her. I mean, even without Marina having set up this nature theme on songs like Venus Flytrap, we would have known that not buying someone flowers when you're in a romantic relationship with them is a pretty clear indication that you're not thinking about them and not putting in the effort. Like, that would have registered anyway, but in either case, this is yet another step in the process of solidifying their breakup and sealing their fate. And on that note, the final track, track 10, is appropriately titled Goodbye.
Heaven, if there's a star for us up there in your lover's universe, shine your light down on me. My life might not be what I thought, but I wouldn't change a thing. Goodbye to the girl that I was. I will never be yours again. Never wanted our love to end. Maybe we won't meet again, but you'll always be my closest friend. Some mistakes are hard to learn, and broken hearts are quick to burn. I've been a mother to everyone else tonight. Don't even have any kids. Goodbye to the girl that I was. Goodbye, my friend. No matter what happens now, nobody can take our love down. And I won't forget how you healed me. Goodbye. I will never be yours again. Goodbye, my friend, my
And that is how the album ends. Marina opens the song basically how she started the whole album, in an ambiguous place or a state of change. She starts the song by singing to heaven, shine your light down on me, somewhere between new and old. Again, heavenly light represents fate or enlightenment or hope, so Marina is looking for guidance after her breakup. On songs like the title track and New America, Marina talked about destruction and rebuilding as a political process, and now she's experiencing that as a personal process. She says on the chorus, "Goodbye to the girl that I was." That phase of her life is over, it has been destroyed, and now she has to build herself back up. And on the bridge she says, "No matter what happens now, no one can take our love down, it's safe inside our memories." On the title track, Marina stressed the importance of staying connected to the past, and then on Purge the Poison, she said, "No, actually, we need to just look ahead and focus on the future." Here she lands somewhere in between. We can hold on to the good of the past and learn from it as a way of progressing into the future, both individually and collectively. Overall, this is another great Marina album. It fits right there with that first trio of albums that made her so beloved in the pop world. And just like the album says that we should honor the past but not rely on it, this album definitely references the style of her early work without sticking strictly close to it. So while some of the pop rock and piano-based songs like Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land, Venus Flytrap, and Purge the Poison are so much fun because they feel so nostalgic, the ballads here feel like a great progression of her style, especially songs like Highly Emotional People and Goodbye. I am so happy with this album, so thank you to all of you who requested that I react to it. As always, let me know in the comments down below what music I should react to and what other topics you'd like to see me cover on my channel. Check the description for that donation link. Please subscribe to be here when I post new videos pretty much every week. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you are staying safe and healthy, and until next time, that's it.